Hello there everyone. Before we get started on this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Please do the same to Tats. And well, I almost call him Dr. Tats. Anyways, before we quickly get into this video, just a quick note, like I was kind of saying in the first video, like I really don't care, I don't like certain things that people interpreted how God would think, and this one's perfect, which is why I'm looking at this video. But I personally don't think he would get mad if we were to ask him any questions, because there's just people just if you just ask a certain question and then he's gonna strike you down. Why what did I'm just gonna get into that later, but I never understood that. I never understood that, because at best that you're just like a little kid. It probably even worse than that, but you're just a little kid asking questions. You can't fathom how it is to be a grown up, or much more how it is up in the outside world. You don't know how it is. People don't know how it was like 7,000 years ago. You complain about things today, but village will get raided. Their village will get raided and then eaten. They'll get eaten on the spot. Talk about skulls. Talk about completely peeled off. I don't mean to say this, but it's facts are around 7,000 years ago. But yeah, that they'll raid a village, break your bone, eat that whatever the heck that's in your bone, whatever that people like it's some sick shit. You'll think that it was some zombies or something, just nasty. But yeah, though, it's in that. That's the thing. It's that. Do you not know what God want to really say to you? You're are you complaining? What are you complaining about? You're not being a basketball player or something. Oh God, this. Whoo, boy! If you was only seeing this planet just even 100, not even that, 60 years ago or something. You don't even got to look thousands or hundreds of years ago. It's not too long ago when people still did some sick stuff. But anywho, let's get right into this. Hopefully, I don't mess up.
Still skeptical of my powers despite first-hand proof? Speaking through you would be akin to mere advice, whispers and ripples across the fabric of mankind's development.
We're a way for you to cheat the system. A little lowbrow for a god, don't you think?
I do what is necessary.
Uh-huh.
The people I healed in Prague were a test of my abilities, drawing your gaze towards me.
Gave us quite the chase tracking you down through the city. Those tapes of you popping up all over the place still crack me up.
That rooftop one still gets me.
Right? And the agent that looks all duh.
Are my demonstrations amusing to you?
No, your tricks are impressive, but that's all they are. Tricks. You move things around, teleport, refurnish a room with decor that's so 12th century BC. But where's the big stuff?
Big stuff?
Well, you threatened us with total annihilation a couple minutes ago, but can you do the same for yourself? Can God cancel himself out?
Yes.
Can you create something or someone more powerful than you?
It is possible. But for what purpose would I deem such an act necessary?
Consider it a lesson in the...
That kind of remind me of sort of with Hades, Zeus and the Kraken. It's dude, how the hell did Hades make something that completely changed the whole tide of the war? And wait, did he make I'm trying to think. Hades, did he make the Kraken? Because you would think that's something Poseidon would have had something to do with. Yeah. Okay, let's get back into it.
nature of balance. You're sitting on the top of the food chain, which is something I've only considered accurate to 682. Don't you think that perhaps that sort of position clouds your judgment a little?
No.
So certain. Then why don't you make a stone appear on this table? Something that you can never pick up.
But why?
Humility. Something to clue you in to what an even playing field is.
I have no use for...
Oh, for crying out.
Your use is exactly the point. We have to deal with creatures that are far more powerful than us on a daily basis, yet you won't bother to lift a finger to help us out. What's the use of free will if we're doomed to die anyway? That's the point. That is the reason. Because maybe the only thing that'll convince you is to feel the same fear we do.
And what fear is that?
The fear of not being strong enough to overcome the impossible. Will you try it, or is the outcome something you're not willing to face?
I have nothing to prove. Humanity elected pain, suffering, and fear when they disobeyed my one rule.
Wait. I mean, because I said this before, but that'd be scary. Like, he can't kill himself, but it's like that. How can you fail? I don't know. That's so weird. Wait, like maybe he can make something stronger than himself, but he can't kill himself. Interesting questions.
Broken no such bargain.
Of course. Only God sets the rules for God.
Till one day he meets a lady.
So can you narrow down just how far your omniscience extends?
The lengths of my powers is beyond your comprehension.
Yeah, you guys really love that line. Look, I don't just sit on my ass and pull a Larry King in these interviews, you know. I've done my research. Studied spiritualism, philosophy, astrology, numerology, cultism, cosmology, physics, and metaphysics. I've read tons of theology and religious texts. The Bible, the Talmud, the Quran, Tao Te Ching, Kojiki, everything from the Book of Shadows to the Tipitaka. So yeah, don't think we're quite as dense as we look.
Don't look at me. I actually am as dense as I look.
Then I shall attempt as best as possible. I filter through every corner of creation. My influence is spread across every world, throughout nature, within the very atoms that make up your physical beings. Any lack thereof is dictated by my will, and my will alone.
What benefit does seeing an eighth of humanity do a number 2 at the same time give you?
There are things that I allow individuals to maintain in private, where my presence is not required. My sight does not need to be set everywhere at once, merely where I choose it to be.
So your own private security monitoring system, potentially anywhere at any time, all at your discretion.
In your terms, yes.
In my terms, yes. That's a lot of privacy you've invaded. You ever tune into a channel you probably should have left closed?
I'm not sure I understand what you mean. All life is a part of my family.
Even parents give their kids some space to grow. They know when it's best not to be there as much as they know when they're needed. But we've all gotten bored. You ever get bored, God?
No.
Yes, that's interesting. Could you imagine being the only being, right? You're all powerful. People, excuse my language, dick stroking you, whatever. Now, like, oh my God, you just do whatever you want and all this and that. But disclude other beings. I'm talking about including the ones that you create, or that's exactly what I mean. But do you have any idea? Like, you can try to. I mean, because I guess you just force yourself not to be bored, like your essence, whatever not. But it's like that's ultimately boring. That's dead boring. Like, I know that there's certain people, I don't know if it's like Marvel or something, somebody got so bored they literally split themselves up to several fragments, whatever not. But it's like, sure, if you ask me, he did the right thing, make other life forms, whatever not. And it, like, just watch the video. It's pretty much just like this. It's like, is he looking just to, either not be bored, just to learn from us? Because honestly, it's like both to me. But okay, getting back to the video.
No. Never took a peek into the lives of someone and watched them have a little private time?
I don't want to hear about this. Watch.
I agree.
Oh, so you have looked in on someone you shouldn't have.
That was not what I meant.
Sure it wasn't.
Watch. Move on.
Now we know how your sight works in terms of space, but what about on a temporal level? Are you only able to view the present, or can you also see the past and predict the future?
In a sense. In reality, I've never experienced your concept of time. Such a linear thing, very set in its way. Thin as reason, frayed to an infinitesimal degree. In each strand is as unbreakable as the strongest element. But for me, time is simply a location rather than a concept. A room with many doors to many places beyond. I can visit them all simultaneously and never have left.
I'd ask if that were overwhelming, but given you've done this all your life...
So, like, essentially, he's like, it's like, if I can show you, he's like, literally every little space there is. It's like, I don't even see really what's the point of you seeing him sitting down right in front of you. You're like, you know, just right here, but he's also like right here, right here, right here, right here, and like infinitely across the universe. Like, no. Oh man, dude, like, oh, I can't even think of that. That's a no-no.
Do I call it life?
I haven't much use for a word.
Existence? Presence?
No, Etern?
Latin?
Old English, it's poetic.
Alrighty then. You've done this for your Eterne, viewing everything that exists, does, has, or will simultaneously. From your metaphor, I assume you also mean alternative timelines that result in parallel universes, or what some refer to as the Omniverse. Do you exist there too?
Indubitably.
That's a lot to manage. Did you start with just one at first?
Also important, was it ours?
I cannot recall, although I believe it hardly matters at this point. A potential side effect of free will being implemented in your design. To allow the luxury of choice on such a monumental scale require that the consequences of every potential outcome take manifestation.
You mean to tell me that if I decide to drink regular or decaf in the morning, almond or soy, sugar or bitter, each of those results in a new universe being born?
Precisely.
But there must be beyond numbers of them. One person
Now
alone...
begin to understand. Although many of these universes have died out, or their potential squandered by wars and disease that have ravaged all life. Once, 2 universes re-emerged since, by sheer coincidence, their alternating paths resulted in a single moment where they overlapped once more.
Then what?
Choice. Division.
Mitosis.
In a sense, the life cycle of the smallest and simplest organisms do somewhat mirror the life cycle of my creation.
That's poetic.
My bad. I was just thinking of something, but oh man, I'm like, of all these life forms that are absolutely out there, it's life forms out there, but it's like I couldn't imagine. Like it's a lot, and I know it goes on here a little bit, or a lot, or definitely back then. But like we're just eating people. I'm talking about like what people are like civilized like us, but like eating other humans was just a okay thing. Like I know it's not even against the law for some reason right now, but I'm talking like you just legit, man. I don't know. It's like if you were a hobo, you could just get eaten. That's just I don't know. That's nasty. Because I'm like, a lot of shit that happened up on our planet, or my bad, about to get off subject a little bit, but yeah, I was just thinking, like, you going to another planet and things is like normal, okay, natural there. Probably just slightly different or a whole lot of different.
The whole eternity must become quite boring. The circle of life constantly repeating.
I admit a level of discontent. All things considered, and I mean that absolutely, it does feel as though my consistent presence amongst my creations is more a form of habit and necessity than it is out of interest.
Maybe a change of view would shake things up. Let's get hypothetical. What would you do if you woke up one day...
I don't sleep.
Same. What would you do if you suddenly found yourself powerless?
I was just gonna say that.
Human.
Sure.
Yeah, I keep forgetting, like, I definitely shouldn't talk when it's on, because I get that, like, of all the way, I know it's overlapping it. But, dear God, the boredom and then no sleep. No sleep. No sleep. Like, oh man, holy hell.
On a physical level, I would have limited senses at my disposal, numbing me to the ebb and flow of existence. At the same time, what few I retain would be substantially more sensitive to even the slightest stimuli. But on an emotional level, I would know that residing in this corporeal form would only be temporary. It would serve no purpose.
Okay, but suppose you didn't. Suppose that for as long as your human life lasted, you would never even know you were God, or that you would return to godhood once you had died. Imagine a 343 with the same restraints and uncertainties that plague humanity. What would you say to that?
Why?
So you can understand what it's like to be human.
I understand humanity. I created you.
Yes, you understand us. You made us. You study us. You give us what we have. But the barrier still exists. Everything you programmed a human being to be. But you still don't know what it's like to be one. At the end of the day, we're two separate entities.
Yes, I would have to consider the merit of such action.
Is there anything you'd give your powers up for?
Why do you ask this question?
You must have given us the lives you did, made us the way we are. Because you felt this was in some way an improvement over what you had. Maybe we're what you wish you could be.
Think about it.
No.
Okay, look, it is like, think about it. Like, if you, I just know what a lot of people gonna say. It's just so irritating. Well, shit, like that. Us humans didn't have it all good. It's more like that we're getting there. So I guess that might be a little relevant thing to say, but it is like God came, from the depths, and then voila, everything. Human, like that. It's possible, like that. You're born, you're seeing trees, and all lovely. You seeing lights. You growing up, people just pampering the hell up out of you, especially if you're a female. Like, you got to do a lot of work. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you're a guy, you got to do a lot of work. And you probably done something. I could imagine one day you finally got, able to sit down, relax, look at like planet Earth, like TV, and then you just looking down. I'm gonna say around now today, after all that sick stuff that was going on, you just looking like, wow, it actually happened. That'd be pretty nice, if that happened. If I was ever born, like that. We think about that, like if I was ever in a wealthy family or whatever. Not true. Some people just wealthy think about the same with the poor. Like, damn, if I was poor, I have more freedom to do shit. But yeah, let me get back to this.
What? You're telling me there's no way you'd benefit
I
from it?
said no. My reasons are my own.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to pause this for 1 second. My second volume here try to go out on me. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, when I record on OBS, like, I can't hear it from the OBS. Like, but when I go back to the records, like, I can hear it then, but while recording, I can't hear anything. So I gotta like do it from my phone, unfortunately.
Proceed.
Yeah, that's why. Another thing, I'm hoping this whole time it wasn't double voicing. Oh, that's gonna be so annoying. That's gonna be so annoying. But okay.
Why do you insist on coming here, to Earth, out of the billions of planets you've supposedly created?
Surely there must be more interesting things for you to do or find out there.
I have seen all there is to know.
You didn't fully predict the separation of universes. Maybe there's more unknowns out there in the undiscovered country.
You misunderstand me. I have seen all, past, present, future. If anything unprecedented were to wriggle free at any point in any...
You know what's funny? Like, time and space might be a thing that us and gods might argue about, whatever, not. Like, it's a thing or not, because it kind of is. It's like, for us, it is a thing. It's just not a thing for the gods, because they exist outside of it. But past, present, and future, yeah, that's definitely got to be a thing, right? Even for them.
time, across all planes of existence, then I would be the first, and most likely only, to know.
If that's the case, then nothing should surprise you. You could predict the future and tell us how to avoid potentially devastating outcomes. Why don't you?
Choice once again rears its ugly head. I not only see the future, but all potential futures. I live in them all, but I am uncertain as to which will become your reality, until all necessary pieces have fallen into place. Once again, the frailty rests with man.
Yeah, I don't buy it. For someone who did everything he could to create us, you sure seem to belittle our existence on the regular. What about the whole made you in his image thing? You certainly seem to be skirting the definition a bit on appearances alone.
Oh, I'm sorry. God might be a perfect person for all females to talk to, not just because he's literally the only perfect person, he or she, but he's like, oh God, like I was just saying, he's got to be, was so bored. If somebody decided to talk to him, you probably like, you think you're going to out-talk me? You sure you want to do this? Because I got all existence to talk my girl. But yeah.
My physical attributes are not tied to my natural form.
Then why the facade? We're all alike here, for the most part. You know that, I know that. There's no need to play dress-up for the lowly mortals.
I prefer this form.
Yeah, of course. Gotta keep some degree of separation. But it just doesn't add up. Why would you make us the way we are, condemn us for taking advantage of the traits we were given, then hang around caring whether we get wiped out or not? It makes no sense.
Humanity is my responsibility. It is not my place to simply stand by, nor interfere directly. I must remain.
What if we don't need you?
Much.
Less of us believe in you day by day. You're becoming less and less.
Yeah, okay, I remember this part because I think me and my brother were watching this, and I didn't know if that was like his name, like Tats, because another thing, I know it's not just like one person working on his videos. I'm sorry, my bad. It's kind of like if you ever heard like Pretty Ricky, and then you thought it was one person, the entire time it was a group. So it's like I'm sorry, like right now until I like come up with another name. Or no, all your names I pretty much gonna prefer to Tats. So when I say Tats, it's gonna be like Vegeta. If you mean me, my planet, or my son type stuff, yeah. So it could either be Tats right here, one person, or the group. My bad. Yeah. If anything, I kind of forgot about what I was about to get into. If I remember what I was talking about, I'm gonna pause it again.
It's relevant every day of your inaction. People die.
Oh, yeah, but that's what it was. Okay. But his name, yes, I don't know if his name was Watch actually on here, or was he about to say watch it? Watch what you're about to say, because you might get Thanos, out of this room. You might get
Catastrophes manifest on a daily basis, and new and more dangerous SCPs are born into this world just to add another threat to the overwhelming honeypot that is the apparent death wish of our universe.
Calm down.
And through all that, you can't spare one miserable life. Someone who is supposedly made unto your image. You couldn't care less. An innocent child who can hardly take care of themselves? For what? Preserving the moral fiber of your being? How righteous and godlike you must feel to let the lives of everyone you've created hang at the end of the noose you tied from the first day we were born.
Do you see me as a fault for a personal slight, Isaac? Do you curse me for the pain you feel?
I'm sure you'd like the idea of living rent-free in my head, but think again. You just seem to be a little too eager to stick around a species that by your own definition as our creator is inferior, almost like you're envious.
Envious of what?
You claim responsibility for our ongoing survival. You also infer that you exist by nature, across all timelines, all universes. You have no concept of time as we experience it. But that simply means that you have the pressures of an eternity mounting on you at every moment.
What is your point?
Don't you know? You should. You know everything. I think you envy our freedom. Our lives are smaller by comparison, but we aren't beholden to some grand responsibility. We live how we want, we can be what we want. We're not held back by the knowledge of what destiny holds. Our fragility or ignorance or whatever you want to call it is what you want. That's why you designed us this way. We're an imperfect copy of you, because that's the kind of existence you wish you could have.
To live, to die, to sleep. The merit of your argument rests on the idea that I feel I have been robbed of a right I have never known, and therefore can never miss or be.
Hey, yeah, I 100% agree with him with that one, though. I always said that, honestly, because have female problems here and there, but I'm like, well, not just that. I'm gonna explain it more later. But it's like, yeah, how can I miss something? And it's really something you need to say to yourself also. How can I, miss something that was never there or whatever? Not like it's just like nice try. It's like what? Okay, whatever. It's like
Envious of. Could any humans miss wielding the power of God when they have never controlled such a thing?
You don't need to have loved and lost to want to feel it. I think you underestimate how many people wish they could have the kind of power you have.
Let's move on.
Yeah, it turned out it was a good thing that I made this in 2 parts.
We know that the doctor in charge of your case disappeared shortly after raising concerns about your requests for interaction.
Did he? And what was his name?
Don't play dumb with me.
Easy there.
And disappeared is putting it too nicely. A man was wiped from existence while studying you. His associate also vanished shortly around the time of your last visit, a Dr. Leslie Beck.
Ah, a good man. Very well read. Handsome, too.
He never existed either. Not until he took over your file. No family, no forms of enlistment. It's like Beck was dropped in with a pair of divine forceps. Except for some reason we all remember him, but we don't remember his predecessor.
I'm sorry, but is there a question here?
What happened?
The actions of God are not for mankind to question, as is the motivation behind them.
Last I checked, the Lord works in mysterious ways didn't get me out of a parking ticket. You're seriously gonna hide behind that defense?
There are some things humanity is better off not knowing.
No. I'm gonna say this right now. He's absolutely 1 quadrillion infinitely better. I mean, like, right. He's right. You do not want to know certain things. I'm gonna use a very, very good example. Very good example right now. But so like, if everybody knew what happens after death, dude, it would not know. No. It's not gonna whether it's good or bad. It is terrible. Let me tell you why. Because if you knew that it was like an actual heaven or something, and I mean, like it is, bro. I'm just saying. I'm like that. You actually see it. You see all the glorious stuff that's going on, and your life's shitty. You will kill yourself. You will kill yourself immediately. Most people would, at least. And then if it's bad, if it's like hell, well, they gonna be like, well, then why the fuck don't I just do something bad right now? Then it would be in chaos. It would not be like that. You see how it was better off just zip it. Better off not knowing. You're better off not knowing. At least you would have stayed here tried your best here, and then like went there, and then you went to heaven, whatever. You probably got fooled to think that you were gonna go to hell. Then you're really gonna go to hell now because you did all that dumb shit before you passed away. But okay, let's finish looking.
Truths that expose you to danger or inspire you to seek it out on some misguided voyage.
We lock things up all the time that by all means we should never have known about in the first place. But it's our job, and we're willing to face those consequences.
And yet you still hide their existence from the wider population. Why is that? For your safety or theirs? Humans who seek the truth rarely react appropriately once it has been found. Many of you try to deny it regardless, while some of you spend your lives lashing out to protect yourself from imagined horrors from around every corner. Truth is trauma for the weak-willed. You think you see it here, but even the Foundation views the truth from behind safety glass and locked doors. Remove that filter, and your minds would break. You understand. You fear me as much as you hate. Preservation is the only motivation that we truly share. But my reasoning outclasses your own. What your missing doctor failed to understand is that the truths I hold would have destroyed him regardless. Not to mention the catastrophes that would have resulted in passing them on to you.
You're trying to tell me that this was necessary.
I declare that my actions were necessary.
Did he have kids, a family, partner, parents, pets, a freaking bowling team? Did he spend his life doing good deeds or bad? Does it even matter? You took it from him. From everyone. You didn't just kill someone. What you did was worse. And we don't even know how many more there are. We only know about this single person by chance. Your actions erased the consequences of a man in this world. You denied him his choices. That was necessary. But you can't help us for any other reason?
It was necessary.
You could have done anything. You're God, are you not? Erased his memory, teleported away, asked for a damn transfer. Did you think we were gonna deny you?
Isaac, calm down.
No. No, he doesn't get to get away with this. What kind of irresponsible God would just wave his hand and tear you out of time and space for doing what humans do best? What he designed us to do. Seek the truth.
You are not ready for many of the truths you seek. You think knowledge is as simple to obtain as eating an apple? That is not the whole story. It is merely what I allow you to know.
Then, what happened?
Pain. Suffering. As I predicted. As I warned you. Begged you to trust that you were better off without. You had to be punished for breaking it, or you would have never learned your lesson.
I think you're the one who hasn't learned a lesson. Just because you may have made us doesn't make us lesser than you.
You think you could handle the responsibilities of a god?
You bet your ass I could if you're anything to judge by.
To believe so demonstrates how ill-suited you are to the task. It proves just how lesser you are.
Eat a dick, asswipe.
Isaac, no! Stop! Stop it!
The selfish delusion of a man.
I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just no. Why? Why? Could you imagine the ball size on Isaac? Could you imagine the size of his damn balls? Oh my God.
Simply and pathetically, you think I do not see the desires that push you to such extremes? I ask of you, If you were me, God, what would you do? I thought so. It was obvious from the start. I have
Hold up. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, I remember that the first time when he asked that, it was like I remember being stuck when it was like, what you gonna do? Pretty much like do the shit the president said he gonna be doing, not actually do it. Or to be honest, what's gonna happen is you gonna do that right. People like, oh, duh. I'm gonna save people or balance whatever, and dude, just see how things gonna go into. If you ever heard of this word chaos, you don't truly see chaos. You trying to save people, making things the right way, changing it like you're fucking it up. You're fucking up the balance.
unfinished business to attend to. Be sure to see to your own until my
Whoa, sorry. I'm so sorry. This is the last time. Almost caught up.
return.
What the hell was that?
Hell is right.
I gotta like Sam Fisher a little bit. Dude, what if like at the end of the video you just see like
Did you enjoy the video? Why not click the bell icon and subscribe to see more content from us at Tatstopvideos. And now let's see the creators of this video.
This is really honestly. I'm sorry. I forgot to do. I'm so sorry. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to Tat's channel. And my bad if I was talking. I kind of forget that I can't hear it. So yeah. Anywho, um, yeah, like I said, it's really just you just being a kid to guy. Like he may get a little frustrated, and I'm not really saying that from the video. I just said it's regardless. That's why I said it was like we had the same ideas. It's like we were the same person or something. But yeah, then even at the time, it's like you literally just yelling at your parent. You're like you don't understand what's going on here, and they like it's like what can they really do to get you to understand nothing? Because you're just naive. Like it can only go so much. Like just gotta wait, see the results, like you've been doing since the beginning of the time. Just gotta see how the results turn out. Like, look good, and now y'all even did very good for the next generation. That's really what it seems to be. If you like the meaning of life and all this, and that, it's like you just enjoy it, do what you can for the next generation. Once you have a kid, your life is not about you anymore. It's not. It's sad. You can still do what you can, being famous, coming out with music, movies, but your life it's about the kids now, the future. They're the future, not you. Let's say you do some immortal. I don't know what Brad Pitt got going on or Holly Berry. They said not aged when they turned 30. They just stopped. They just stopped aging. Anyways, honestly, I'm probably getting off subject. I kind of forgot. Yeah. Thank you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I said, videos will get better. It get edits up in it way better. I just yeah, I couldn't use Flimora anymore. It just got that stuff all across the screen. It was just so bad, or at least not the free one. But yeah, peace. Get this to stop here.